it has been one heck of a week, hasn't it, in politics, with Boris Johnson finally leaving Downing Street after a record-breaking number of Tory MPs quit their posts. Now the race is on to replace him as party leader. And today, Rishi Sunak formally announced he's running with a very slick campaign video and the slogan, "Ready for Rishi."
My mum studied hard and got the qualifications to become a pharmacist. She met my dad, an NHS GP, and they settled in Southampton. I want to lead this country in the right direction. I ran the toughest department in government during the toughest times when we faced the nightmare of COVID. My values are non-negotiable: patriotism, fairness, hard work. We've had enough of division.
He is the bookies' favourite, followed by Foreign Secretary Liz Truss and former Health Secretary Sajid Javid and Jeremy Hunt. Senior backbencher Tom Tugendhat and Attorney General Suella Braverman have also already announced their plans to stand. But for me, there's no clear front-runner here. And you'd have to say, guys, looking at that Rishi Sunak video, it's amazing what you can knock up in 24 hours these days, isn't it? I mean, I presume he's just got his iPhone out.
I mean, let's be honest.
Let's have some proper information from you.
Proper information. According to social media, he actually registered... That's my source, leave me alone. That he registered the domain name Ready for Rishi on the 23rd of December 2021.
Really?
Yeah. So that's been around for a while.
Yes.
And there's no way that he knocked up that campaign video overnight. I mean, come on.
That's been in an editing suite for at least a month, I would say, isn't it?
Exactly. The music, the cuts, everything. It's very well done. So obviously this
it's cheesy,
is something...
though, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. But
They're
I mean,
always cheesy. It
yeah.
looks like Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, I know.
Pretty good stuff.
I mean, even just to find all those old pictures, he'd have been rooting around in a loft for a while, wouldn't he?
The embarrassing thing about it, of course, is the... and there's nothing wrong with being from an affluent background. His grandparents genuinely were immigrants that came to this country with nothing. So, but, that was 2 generations ago. Rishi hasn't struggled. He's never had to struggle. He went through a great school. All that's fantastic. Great university. Brilliant. But the kind of video is trying to tell us that there's another story.
Yeah.
Humble beginnings.
I'm just like you.
Pulled myself up by... his mum didn't work in Boots. It was their own chemist, for goodness sake. Which is, again, all great stuff. But... tell it like it is.
I think there would be a lot of people as well looking at that going, it's just too slick to be kind of, somebody that you want to have in power. And you just sort of think, well, Penny Mordaunt could be, are you prepared for Penny? Or sort of, are you trussed up for Liz? Or are you kind of, are we
You've done this before,
are we rabid for Javid?
That one I love. So that's the thing.
Thanks.
I mean, the idea that, you almost want him at the end saying, and now I'm married to one of the richest women in the world. And life's great. We've got a house in Santa Monica.
I don't think anyone who has served that closely with Boris should be the next leader. I know he resigned after Sajid Javid did, but didn't resign over COVID deaths, didn't resign over deported refugees, didn't resign over Partygate, resigned over Pincher, apparently. He is far too close to Boris Johnson to be leader for me, and he's like the least conservative chancellor we've ever had. So I don't think he should be running.
I think also, sorry, just to interrupt, but also when he says, I was serving as chancellor during the tough times, I mean, you could argue that it's tougher now for most people, I would say, than actually when
he was giving away free money. And also,
you
could also argue that it was because of all of that borrowing that he did that we are now in the place that we are in. And an awful lot of Conservatives have been saying lately as well that he wasn't a very, as you said, JJ, he's not a very conservative chancellor. And so why would you want him running the country? I just think he's obviously the first of the sort of the big candidates, I suppose, to say that he's going to run. So of course they're going to make him the favourite. But I mean, I think he might make it to the last 2, but I don't think he's going to get it.
But that's the point, isn't it? There's going to be quite a lot, and then they get narrowed down to 2, and I think that's the point at which actually people start talking about it in all sorts.
He's kind of lucked in, though, hasn't he? He's a reasonable-looking bloke. He can wear a suit in a rather tasty way,
and a hoodie.
He looks and a what?
And a hoodie.
Oh, he likes a hoodie as well. And he's got that expensive beaker on his desk.
No, the funny slippers he's got as well, hasn't he?
Funny slippers. He's got all of that. So, but actually, the substance of Rishi Sunak, I don't think most people really know what you need to know if you're standing to be the Prime Minister.
But how much do we know about the substance of anybody who has put their hat in the rings? I mean, so far it's just Rishi Sunak, but we're expecting Liz Truss, possibly Sajid Javid. I mean, how much do we really know about any of them?
I really hope they do. I really hope talked about them and the outsiders as well. Who,
Yep.
And actually, you know, I think there will be people as well who are just thinking, like you said, JJ, let's just have somebody who's kind of slightly untainted, who's one step back, one step removed, who hasn't had to essentially have slippery interviews on television where they've had to defend the indefensible.
Yeah.
But who is that person, though?
Well,
Well, there are a few there.
There's some there.
I mean, Rishi Sunak ended up making his wife, well, maybe she didn't get made to do it, but made her pay more tax when she didn't have to. You know, which is kind of mad. You know, as soon as he got put under a bit of pressure, he's like, oh, you better pay some more tax.
Yeah.
She wasn't doing anything illegal.
I'd like
I
to
bet
see
that went down well, I hope.
Yeah, can you imagine? He's still in the garden shed.
the next PM shouldn't be from Eton and shouldn't be a banker. We've had far too many people with those characteristics already.
Yep.